Hey everybody, I'm Lindsay Egeberg. I'm 24 years old. I'm a registered nurse and I work at Salem Hospital. I went to Grand Canyon actually for my bachelor's in nursing, and I'm pursuing my master's in leadership. So I wanted to do just a quick overview of Salem Hospital because that's the organization I chose to propose my action plan. I just wanted to talk about the mission and vision. The mission of Salem Hospital is we express the purpose for existing as a tax-exempt healthcare organization, and with that we have a 15-person volunteer committee called the Board of Trustees of Salem Hospital, and they make all of the big decisions regarding patient safety, technology, staff resources and relations, and different things like that. And we pride ourselves on being a non-for-profit organization. And then the vision is we aspire to provide anyone who comes in contact with Salem Hospital to have an exceptional experience every time. That includes employees as well as patients and volunteers who help, and visitors who come to see a loved one, anyone who comes in contact. That includes suppliers and guest speakers and anybody. We aspire to create an environment that's inviting and that they all experience an exceptional experience while they're there. And then I also just wanted to quickly touch on the culture at Salem Hospital. So we are a magnet certified hospital, and we just got recognized this year. And part of what helps us get to that point is our lean management and Kaizen principles. Basically, we look to find different ways to eliminate waste, which includes cost waste, time waste, resources, supplies, anything that we could eliminate to help make our jobs easier, to help increase patient satisfaction, increase job satisfaction, any of that. So all of that kind of pertains to my action plan. I'm going to kind of hone in on employee job satisfaction. So, strategic action plan for commuter mileage reimbursement at Salem Hospital. So the problem is the location. The hospital is in Salem Oregon, excuse me, and we get a lot of people who don't live in Salem commute to work, and that can become a huge burden because a lot of people live in Portland, which is one of the bigger cities in Oregon, and it can be an hour to an hour and a half, even up to 2 hours when there's traffic to commute. I personally commute 45 minutes away, and even that is a big burden because I have to manage my time more. I have to leave the house an hour and a half before before my shift starts, and so that cuts into a lot of family time and eating time and running around and errands and different things. And that becomes a big burden, and the problem is that staff nursing is looking for jobs elsewhere or closer to where they live because the burden of having to commute so far. And I think that if we could propose this to our Board of Trustees, hopefully the incentive would allow for staff to want to stay instead of seek jobs elsewhere. It's not that they don't like the hospital, it's just because the commute is such a burden. So the stakeholders, obviously the Salem Health Board of Trustees will have to present, and they will be the major yes or no for this proposal. Also, we have some secondary stakeholders, Salem Hospital employees, as well as patients that come in contact with Salem Hospital. If we please employees of Salem Hospital and give them the incentive of reimbursing their mileage, then it will directly affect patients' exceptional experiences because staff will be more inclined to enjoy their work because they're not clogged up with burden of having to commute. And let's talk about the strategy. If a program for staff nurse commuter mileage reimbursement is approved, then the rate of staff nurse volunteer turnover will decrease. This is what we hope to happen, that if we can get this change proposal approved, then people will want to stay. The action. We want to align our plan with the company mission, which is the exceptional experience every time, and that we pride ourselves on that. We also want to focus on creating a culture of positivity. As managers, this can be really hard. We're always being watched, so it's important to really keep our emotions at bay as much as possible, because we don't want to give off any negativity for our staff, and that will help this action plan. According to the DAF text, I chose the administrative model, which I will read the definition here. An administrative model deals with a vague problem with a condition of uncertainty due to limited information about alternative approaches and satisfying the choice selection by using intuition. So I chose this one because there isn't necessarily a set in stone not action plan. There isn't a set in stone way of going about it. This model will be super important. It will help a lot to base our choices and how we approach the Board of Trustees on our intuition. We'll also need to integrate the financial department, and because we don't know if we even have the money that we can reimburse staff with for their mileage. So we need to figure out if that is possible. Then we want to define our goals, set up communication plans to the Board of Trustees as well as our employees, and we want to evaluate our outcomes after. So our goals, I want to promote longer tenure for staff. If they stay longer, that means they're more satisfied with their job, and we hope that people will want to stay. We also will decrease turnover rate if we can get this approved, or at least that's the hope, that this burden of having to commute will be overridden by the chance for reimbursement. I also want to increase the number of experienced staff. If we keep them longer, they're familiar with the hospital, they're familiar with the culture, then we can improve even more and even quicker for patients and employees. And then we'll also, in the meantime, increase job satisfaction. So communication, we obviously want to have a formal presentation to the Board of Trustees and show them the outcomes that we hope to achieve at the end of this, and how it would help with job satisfaction, patient safety, all of the above. We also want to do a formal to semi-formal staff meeting to just update them on the change proposal and what we're working on. And then we'll also send out emails, post some memos in the break room or in nurses' stations just to keep people updated on what's going on. And then we'll also allow office hours so that staff or anybody could come in and talk to us as managers about any questions or concerns or things we should update, or anything regarding this action plan. And lastly, we want to evaluate our outcomes. So we expect that the commuter mileage reimbursement change proposal will be approved, thus decreasing staff turnover rate. And we also hope that everybody experiences an exceptional experience throughout this process. All right. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions? If you do, you can post in the comments below, and I appreciate you listening.